Hey there friends, how's it going today? David Potts with Song Notes here, in a quick video where I want to give you a roundup of 11 different riffs that I have taught from songs that you likely know, all of which use droning strings as part of the riff. Now, really quick, what is a droning string? It's simply a string that is played repeatedly, and it's usually, not always, but going to be an open string, right? And while this is being played, there's a riff being played at the same time on top of it, right? And what this does is it makes the riff sound bigger, makes it sound more full, because there's these multiple notes sort of interplaying with each other. The most recent example I'll show you from last week is Moonshadow by Cat Stevens, where you have this open fourth string, right? This is just repeating. Watch my thumb here, and watch as I play the riff. My thumb just keeps going. Okay, so that's just one example, but let me go back earlier in the catalog and show you some other examples of this, starting with some good old classic rock. So this is Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, and this is going to be the first of a few examples that use the low E string as the droning string, right? That song opens with this cool intro. It's a horn section, but if you play it on guitar, I show you how you can play it on the fifth string. It's a bit of a stretch, right? Okay, and so forth. But while that's being played, there's this low droning E string that's played constantly at the same time. So here's me playing this about 10 years ago. See if you can pay attention to that low E string while that horn riff is being played. Let's check it out. So once again, that is Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Check out my full lesson if you'd like to learn that one. Another one which uses the low E string is going to be All Apologies by Nirvana. Now the thing is, this song is going to be in drop D tuning, so that low E string is going to be tuned down a whole step, but you're still plucking that low E string constantly. Now this riff is played again with a fifth string melody. So in this case, it's going to be the ninth fret where... Okay. While that's being played, you have the low E string, in this case it's a low D string, playing things to fill it out. Again, let's listen to the way it sounds when you put it all together nicely. And once more, I have a lesson teaching that one if you'd like to learn it. One other one that uses the low E string is another 90s classic. This is going to be from Smashing Pumpkins, 1979, right? So this one, the song effectively opens with an E major chord and an A major chord. Now they're using some variations which kind of embrace the major seventh tone and everything. I'm going to play how it's played here. Notice how in the first half, you hear this low E string. It's being played constantly, even as I'm doing the strumming on the fifth, fourth, and third strings. And then for the second half of that riff, I'm going to go to the droning fifth string, okay? So this riff combines the droning sixth string with the droning fifth string, right? Not at the same time, right? But two measures of each, and it gives you a nice sort of distinctive character of that very distinctive sound you get from that main riff. Let's check this one out. So once again, that is 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, so the next category of droning string riffs I want to show you here are ones that use the fourth string. Okay, so Moonshadow by Cat Stevens is one that I showed you at the beginning of this lesson. Again, it's going to sort of have that droning fourth string open. Okay, you get the idea. Let me show you a couple other examples. One is going to be Copperhead Road by Steve Earle. So this one is going to have this real droning fourth string, and all the melody stuff is going to happen on the third string, right? This one always reminds me of the banjo. I think, and if you listen to the song, you listen to Steve Earle's recording, that first tone you hear come in, I'm pretty sure it's a D note, right? And it just sort of sets this constant thing. It reminds me, I meant to say bagpipe, not banjo. Bagpipe. It reminds me of a bagpipe where you have that constant droning sound as the melodies are played over it, okay? So here's what Copperhead Road sounds like. Check this out. This isn't standard tuning. You can play this in drop D also, but here is how it sounds. And along the lines of that droning fourth string, we have one I want to show you. This is my take on Green Day's Welcome to Paradise from their album Dookie, but I played this in the way that Tyler Childers might play it. I kind of took what he played in Feathered Indians, I mixed that together with what Steve Earle plays in Copperhead Road, and I put together this arrangement. It's kind of inspired by all those, but check this out. Again, notice the fourth string is droning as I'm playing this main riff, which is happening on the second and third strings. Hey, mama. All right, so that is yet another example of how you can do things. Again, you don't have to drone the sixth string. It can also be the fourth string or maybe the fifth string if you're playing something in the key of A. But it also can be higher in the guitar. So I'm going to show you ones here that use the open first string, right? The open first string. So first up, we're going to do She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes. No doubt you know this song. It's a really great song. It's in open E tuning, right? You can play it in standard, but when you play it in open E, you get this cool effect where you have lots of these strings. These E notes are sort of shining through with everything you play. Riff 2. Riff 3 is coming up. And I want you to check out what you have here in the third riff in the song, because you're going to have this open first string, which is played between each of the main melody notes. And just listen to hear that, how this note kind of just pours through everything. And it's like putting a chocolate syrup over your favorite ice cream. Every bite, you're getting that chocolate syrup as the ice cream flavors, which are the melody notes, right, sort of shine through. So check this one out. So again, if you want to learn She Talks to Angels and learn those open riffs in open E tuning, I have a nice lesson breaking that one down for you. Let's go back in time a little bit. This is the Malaguena. This is one I learned through Keith Richards, right? This is the song that his grandfather sort of challenged him with to learn guitar in the first place if you wanted to learn. So this one is going to be, it's droning high E string, and it's basically going to have this cool sort of Spanish sound. Okay, while that melody is being played, you have the open E string being played between each of those melody notes. Here's how that one sounds. And when I teach that song, I also show you how to play it one octave lower using the melody down here on the thicker strings. You're still going to have the droning high E string. This version is trickier to play, but I'll show it to you just the same in case you're curious how you can play the melody on the thinner strings or the thicker strings. But in both cases, you're going to have the thinnest string as your droning string there. Okay, so that one is the Malaguena. Again, if you want to learn that, head on over to my website or just click the link in the description to this video. One other one which does the same thing, this is also going to be sort of in the key of E, is Wyclef Jean's Gone Till November. This is one of our favorites back in college, right? Really beautiful fingerstyle intro to this one. Again, with this one, the melody is all going to be happening on the third string, but you're going to hear a lot of the thickest and thinnest strings being played open, right? They're sort of setting this nice E tonality, droningness, right? They're not played at the same time like I'm doing here, but listen to how you can hear the thickest string and thinnest strings while the melody is happening. So check this one out. So once again, that's Gone Till November by Wyclef Jean. If you want to see a step-by-step breakdown of that intro, check out my website. Now let's move on to some chords, right? It doesn't have to be just single notes that are being played over individual note riffs. You can sort of do full strums as well. So this works really well in the key of E major, right? If we take an E chord, notice how the thickest string and then the thinnest two strings are ringing out, right? What you can do is sort of take that flavoring and apply it to the A major chord and the B major chord. Okay, I'm playing them down here, but you also can do them up here. For this A, or for this E, so for this E major, for this B, and for this A, right? In all these examples, we have the open 2 strings are ringing out. So here are 2 different songs where I do this. One is Yellow Ledbetter by Pearl Jam. The song just uses E, A, and B, but notice how I'm playing them using these voicings, right? There's a little bit of weird dissonance to these open A and B major voicings, but it sounds kind of cool. So here's what Yellow Ledbetter sounds like. And then another one I want to show you is Angel Flight. This is a beautiful, poignant song by Rodney Foster. Again, it's going to use that open E major chord. It's going to use that version of B and that version of A, all of which have the open thinnest 2 strings. It's also going to use C sharp minor, which again is keeping these 2 strings open. So when you listen to this clip I'm about to show you, notice how these 2 droning strings, right? The open B and open E strings are going to be ringing out for all the chords. It creates that cool droning effect. So here is Angel Flight. And then lastly, on the topic of chords, we can also use some sort of fingerstyle-ish chords, right? Right? Those are 4 chords I'm sure you've heard before from Blackbird, right? Now, I teach you how to play this song using just 2 fingers for each chord. But if you want, you can play those same chords, but use the open 3rd string while all the chords are being played. Right? Or you can do the open 3rd string between each chord. Here's what it sounds like from my previous lesson on this song. And similar to Blackbird, there is one I show you in a separate lesson showing you these 2 finger chords in the key of C, right? I learned this when I was learning Joni Mitchell's A Case of You, right? 2 finger chords just like Blackbird's, and just like in Blackbird as well, we're going to be using the open 3rd string. The difference here is we're in the key of C, right? And in the key of C, this open 3rd string is a G, and that's our perfect 5th above C. And in general, any note that's a perfect 5th above a root note is going to be a real good complementary note. It's neither major nor minor, so it just kind of provides a perfect filler, right? But here's a clip of that earlier lesson I did showing you these 2 finger chords in the key of C. And the last example I want to show you all here is a fingerstyle one. And this is one where the droning note, it's a bass note, it's changing for each chord. But in this one, notice how my thumb is sort of just plucking that bass note constantly, right? First it's plucking that G note, then it goes to a C note. Now I'm going to add a riff on top of this. Then it adds the D note, right, for the D chord. And it's going to return home to the G, okay? This is inspired by Goodtime Charlie's Got the Blues, right? And a really nice country song. Let's see how that one sounds when I teach it. Again, watch the bass note. Watch how it's a constant sound played with my thumb. Okay, so again, if you want to learn that one, the link's in the description. A really fun one to learn, nice fingerstyle, Travis picking training wheels approach, as I call it there, where your bass note is constant. It's not alternating strings. So y'all, that's going to be it for this roundup. Again, if you want to learn any of these, the full lesson for each are over on my website, songnotes.net. You'll also find descriptions, links in the description of this video. I'm sorry, it'll take you over to the YouTube video for each, and you can watch those. And in those descriptions, you can head on over to the lesson page on my Song Notes website. Now, for most of these, if not all of them, I have a print-friendly guide available. For some of the songs, the print-friendly guides are licensed and available for sale only, and that's for copyright reasons, right? To make sure the songwriters are getting their fair share. But for all the ones that are just looking at a certain riff or breaking things down with some practice notes, I have instructional PDFs available over on my website, right? Those don't have lyrics or anything like that, but it shows you what I'm teaching step by step with tabs, with notation, with diagrams. It's really helpful. All those practice note PDFs that I make, with the exception of the licensed song sheets, the practice note ones are available over on my website, songnotes.net. They're included with membership there. And the Song Notes is my website. It's 100% of the stuff there is by me. No other teachers post there. It's my site. Membership on that site is how you get access to all the extended materials I make. But again, it's all supporting me, right? I am trying to make the best lessons I can year after year. This is a sort of lifetime pursuit of mine, and the support that you all can give, if you're able to, even if you stick around only for a month or two, it means the world to me, and it keeps the lights on around here and makes these lessons possible. So I hope to see you over there. I hope that you can join up and become a member. If you do, check out the community forum. It's a great members-only place to sort of connect with like-minded guitarists and share what you're working on, ask questions, get feedback, all that sort of thing. So I'll see you in the next lesson, or over on my website, or in the forum. Once more, this has been David Potts with Song Notes. Take care, my friends, and until next time, bye-bye.